began because I joined Pull Up Recordings a few years ago now, and it was when Pull Up was very, very small. I just said to the boys, I said, oh, by the way, my 21st is coming up, like, can we throw a party? You know, we're an events company, we had resident DJs that were playing for us. It's events all over, do you know what I mean? It's easy to throw a party. And they go, whatever, Gem, your birthday's in the middle of the pull-up tour, we'll sort something out, you just give us a date and a general vibe and we'll do it.
We didn't really know what we let ourselves into. It was just like Gemma was asking us to do it. We were like, yeah, cool. It was still an afterthought because we had so much going on with the tour.
And it was a bit like, can we support it and help, you know? And she said, oh yeah, you know, do a big party in a field kind of thing. So we said, yeah, sure. And to be fair to Gemma, she kind of just took it by the horns. And obviously, given it was her birthday, we called it Gemfest.
There was a field around the corner from me, and I thought, that field is sick, like it's got a barn, I wonder who owns it. I wrote them a letter a few months later. I got an email from the wife of the farmer saying, hi Gemma, just got your letter, sorry for the delay. Of course you can have the field. And I said, cool, how much? And she was like, oh no, don't be silly, it's your birthday. So suddenly we have a field with a barn. I work at an events company. Sam and John are just sick anyways at what they do. We've got resident DJs that are keen to play, and it all just started coming together.
It was literally like a hangar barn, sort of no front door on it. And then we just got the Toxic Tech boys from Bristol. They just come clear with Gemma's merch. They put the sound system up for free, brought our decks over, and then just invited loads of people, that was it. And Red Bull, who we'd like done a bit of work with, come down, gave out some free cans, had one pizza trader that was someone's mate. And that was it, you know?
Yeah, there was about 300-400 people maybe. You know, just invited everybody down, had a good party, got good weather and had a good time. I think there was 2 stages. Loads of artists volunteered, helped out. Obviously we had relationships with people and it was just, you know, really a greenfield party. It wasn't it wasn't a festival now looking back at it.
From my point of view, it was the next day. We'd just done, this is at the end or the second half of our UK tour. We'd just done Gemfest, one day, one night, pop-up festival essentially. Then we were getting in the car the next day to go and play Stories in the Park in Reading, and then from there go into our pull-up show in Notts. And we were just chatting in the car, being like, oh, that was so sick, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. We should definitely do a Greenfield show every year. It's a good statement, it's a good thing to aim for. This kind of keeps us excited, really. Year 2, which was like technically year 1 where we sold tickets, we ended up putting the lineup out. So we did like a little campaign, really not much. Then we put the lineup out on April 1st, April Fool's Day.
We had mates in the industry and people did us favours, like what we were doing. Tickets were cheap, it was small. And we put tickets on sale. I think we sold 500 straight away and we were a bit like, oh, okay. Well, now we actually need a bigger licence because we were only planning to do 500. So then we went through the licensing thing and it was all a bit of a disaster again last year. But we did it all ourselves. The only 2 things we didn't do was security and medical. We did all our own power, all our own water. We turned up on site on the Monday morning we just ordered loads of scaffolding and 300 pallets. And we just said, all right, let's build the main stage.
So I think people that came last year are gonna expect similar vibes. Obviously we've posted a lot on socials, but they'll be expecting similar vibes to last year. They'll turn up this year and it'll be the exact same reaction. And hopefully we can keep sort of doing that, but whilst maintaining that community, intimate feel, just getting better and better every year.
What we want to create with Gemfest is just everything that Pull Up stands for, which is why we've had so much fun with it the last 2 years, and it's definitely like really, really grown.
You know, we're grassroots, we don't have any funding back in. It's completely funded by people buying these tickets.
It's very community-based, friends-based. There's like the good fitness and sports element that's been a massive part of Pull Up recently. And we've just met so many people that we would never have really met before by like having that as an outlet.
I could never have imagined that we would have gone from last year to this in the space of a year.
This is a tough journey and it's better to do it with your mates because I think if I had to absorb some of these mental and financial losses on my own, I wouldn't still be doing it, you know? You have to have your mates with you, you know, because it's tough otherwise.
It's so insane And the growth is just absolutely mental, especially in this environment, this industry environment. It's nuts to have a trajectory like this. So when it finally comes to life like this, it's so rewarding.
If this was the last Gemfest, I'd really want people to just come and be like, how on earth have they done that? You know? Just how? And I want them to be impressed and blown away by the quality of the stage design, the decor, the production, the artists, you know? I want them to be like that was so professional by a group of mates that started this, you know, 2-3 years ago.
I think that's what makes us special and makes us different from everything else, because everyone knows that it's run by a group of mates. They know who has organised this. I want people to be like, we had a sick time that one year at that festival that group of mates threw. Also, I'm trying to get that grandparent law in a few years' time.